And we should be live. Let's see if we are indeed live. Testing 1, 2, 3. Are we live? Let me check over here into the chat window and find out if you do see me. Do you hear me? Do you see me? Of course, I'm your host, Bill McIntosh, and I'm here to help you out with building a business online and a whole lot more. We're going to be talking about AI today. I've got 2 segments that are going to blow you away about some brand new cutting edge ways you can use AI, including we're going to be talking about Code Interpreter. I'm going to show you 4 ways you can use Code Interpreter to build profit into your business. And then we're going to show you an awesome set of tools that allow you to create videos that are really amazing with AI. And it is really, really simple to produce some impressive stuff. And so we're going to be covering that. I also have, if we have time, I have some bonus content that I'm going to be talking about how to potentially how to hide the fact from the world that you used AI to generate content. That's something that a couple people have asked for. So it's a technique I came up with that allows us, if you're concerned that the search engines or somebody else might not like the fact that you're using AI content, it is a way where you can evade AI content detection. So we may cover that at the end. If we don't have time, we'll talk about that in next week's show. And yeah, so, and I have a little surprise up my sleeve that if time permitting in today's show, we'll talk about as well. And it looks like we are off and running. Okay, fantastic. So got to power up with some of my content caffeine. We'll get that, got to get that very important detail taken care of. So cheers. All right. And we are ready to rock. I will move this window over here. I have way too many windows everywhere on my screen. We will move that one over there. And this one I can get rid of over here. And I think we're ready to start. So let me get my trusty teleprompter going here and we'll get things rocking. Okay. So here we go. So you may have heard about ChatGPT's. I'm going to start this over. So here we go. Remember, I'm recording these segments for use in other content later. So you guys get to watch me do my takes live. Here we go. You may have heard of Code Interpreter, ChatGPT's newest release that has come out, and it has completely changed the game when it comes to creating content for your business. And it changes it because it actually builds a little program within a program. So it's like Inception in a way. You're talking to a program that builds a little program inside of itself, and it allows you to upload stuff in there and use ChatGPT in a way that you may have never thought of using it before. And today we're going to cover 4 amazing ways to use ChatGPT's Code Interpreter to make profit in your business. And there's different kinds of content, strategy, and planning that you can use ChatGPT's Code Interpreter for that is really, really powerful. Now, most people are using ChatGPT's Code Interpreter so that they can actually do coding, right? That's what's called Code Interpreter. It allows you to actually have it write code and execute code and run programs all right with inside ChatGPT's chatbot. But we're going to take those capabilities, hack them, turn them on their head, and use it for something that maybe is a little unexpected. So, a little backstory. OpenAI just released this newest update. It is called Code Interpreter, and it is a game changer. So you may think that this is a tool that's just for programmers and techies, but you'd be wrong. Code Interpreter is being used for a whole variety of use cases, from business to stock trading, even art and design. I'm going to show you how you can turn it into your own graphic designer. And now, more important than that, people are using it to help them to make money, which is, I know, why you guys watch me. So I'm going to be showing you my favorite use cases for using Code Interpreter as a tool to help you in your business. But before we get into that, I got to show you some case studies real quick. So I just want to show you some examples of what Code Interpreter is being used for. And they're just way too cool not to show this to you today. And so let me pull up my screen. I got to get my screen sharing going, and we will do that there, over here. There we go. And then let me pull this window around. And here we are over in X Twitter. Is that what we're going to call it these days? X Twitter. So I touched on this particular case study in earlier training that we've done in previous videos, but this person made an entire game with the help of Code Interpreter. So you can see here an example. It actually is a working game that runs inside ChatGPT, and he built this all inside Code Interpreter. That's insane. And then there's another one here, also here over on X Twitter. And this is where they used a Code Interpreter to create. Oh, this is, again, part of what he was doing there. Let's see here. Let me find the right one. So this one here, you can take images and turn them into a text file with Code Interpreter. This one here, they actually turned Code Interpreter into a QR code creator. So he actually used it to generate a QR code. So if you've ever wondered how to do that, if you want a scannable code that opens up a text message or opens up a website or does different things on your phone and you weren't sure how to make them, well, Code Interpreter can make them for you. Pretty amazing. And here's a guy over here. This is another case study. He fed an Excel file of San Francisco crime statistics. So he found a database of San Francisco crime statistics, uploaded it into Code Interpreter, and it gave him a comprehensive breakdown, including charts, graphs, and even a heat map showing crime throughout the city. And that's pretty crazy. Now, this guy over here fed it UFO sightings. So he fed it found a database of UFO sightings, uploaded it to Code Interpreter, and it got to give him a little heat map of showing where the most sightings are for UFOs across America. That's kind of interesting. So being used for UFO research. And I could go on all day long about all the crazy things people are doing with Code Interpreter. But for now, let's focus on how you can use it to help you in your business. All right. Our first use case is as an SEO assistant. So I know many of you have asked me of different ways to use AI to help you with search engine optimization or ranking in Google, is kind of the shortcut for that. How do you get your site to rank in the various search engines? Of course, Google being the biggest one. Now, one way is that you can use Code Interpreter to help you do your SEO. A lot of people are getting keyword data and feeding it into Code Interpreter for insights and analysis. Now, what I'm going to be showing you here is how to use Code Interpreter along with Google's keyword planner. And my live audience that's here watching with me right now, can you let me know in the chat, are you familiar, number one, with Google's keyword tool that they provide for free? You familiar with that? Yeah, it's called the Keyword Planner. So who here has used the Keyword Planner? You said, give me a yes or a not yet in the chat. Let me know if you have used it. So, okay, before we get into that, I'm gonna watch the chat and want to see your feedback so I can kind of adjust my training today. But before we get into that, I want to show you another example. This guy over here, let me put it right there. And I'll show you him right here. This guy right here took Google Search Console, right? So Google Search Console provides data from Google. It's like it's like a Google Analytics for what's happening in the search engines for your site. And Google Search Console is free. You just set it up on your site. You verify that it's your site. It's a very easy thing to set up. But with Google Search Console, you can download data from Google. And here's an example. It's outputting charts and graphs. And the idea is to help identify new opportunities for new keywords that they could rank for. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick demo here using Keyword Planner. And here, let me just see what, I don't know why that's there. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to start this demo showing you how to use Keyword Planner with this strategy. Now, Keyword Planner is a tool that you just go into Google. You do need a Google Ads account. So in Google Ads, you don't even need to be paying for ads. You just need to have an active Google Ads account in order to use it. And by the way, for those who are our paying customers in Push Button AI, we will be providing links to all the resources that we show you today in this training segment, as well as all the prompts used and everything that we use to pull it together. So what we're going to do is we are going to do some keyword research. And we're going to do it live with the audience. So here with our live audience, what are some niche markets that you would like me to research some keywords in? Anybody here have a niche market you'd like me to research? Let me know in the chat with the live audience. And we're going to actually do this live. So let's get into it. Let me know what niche market, what kinds of keywords would you like me to do for this live demo? We're going to do it live without a net in front of the audience here that's watching the live broadcast, and we'll use Code Interpreter. Okay, well, the first response. Okay, we got a couple of them here. So let's see. Let's see here. I'm going to go with, let's see. I'll pull my window back around here. I'm going to go with managing remote teams. Okay. So that one was suggested by Mark Manton. So Mark, I'm going to go ahead and use that. We're going to go with managing remote teams. So here, we'll come in here and we're just going to type our keyword in. We're going to say, get results. And down here, you'll notice there's all these different keywords that it comes back with. It's come back with 108 different keywords. Okay. So, and the screen here is a little wacky, but so down in this little window here, you can see there's 108 keywords. Okay. And we can select them all and we can save them to create what's called a keyword plan. Okay. So we've got one keyword plan that we are creating. And okay, we want to select all 108. And then let's why is it not allowing me to save them here? Let's do this. We're going to put them all this way. Okay, why is it not letting me save my keywords into the plan? Maybe I already saved them. Oh, right there. Okay, now they're in there. Okay, so we've got all 108 keywords in there. And we're going to keep going. We're going to broaden our search. And we're going to go... That's interesting. We can come here and we can keep adding. See how we can keep adding these concepts and keep broadening our search, and we're getting more and more and more results. And we'll put in leading remote teams, get results. And yeah, we'll put that in there too. Get results. Okay, so now we have 948 keyword ideas. So let's select all 948, add them all to the plan. Okay, good. So then we can view saved keywords. And there we go. We have 948 keywords. So now what we can do is we can download them. So we're now have our keyword plan with 948 keywords. And we're going to say we're going to download into a CSV. Downloading report. So let's give it a name here. I'll put it here in my downloads folder. Pop it right there. So it's now been downloaded. Let me open up the folder. Okay, good. And that's step one. So step one is now complete. We have a list of 948 keywords, and we're ready to now go to ChatGPT and use Code Interpreter to come up with an SEO plan. Let's do it. So we'll head over here to ChatGPT. And what you want to do is make sure that you have under GTP4, you select Code Interpreter right there. And if for any reason Code Interpreter, you're not seeing it here, you do need one of their paid plans. It's $20 a month. And if it's not turned on, you can come down here, click on the little three dots, go to Settings, Beta Features, and you can activate it right there. Okay. So once we know we're in Code Interpreter and we're ready to go, we can go on to the next step. And we're going to write a prompt. And we're going to say, you are SEO expert. I am uploading a list of keywords from Google Keyword Planner. Please read the entire list and let me know what these keywords are about. Okay, and then we're going to come over here, click the little plus. We're then going to upload. Let's go over to our downloads directory, upload the keyword list, and boom. Okay. So when this little green, see the little symbol right there? That means it's working on code. And so it will actually tell you that it's having trouble reading the file. So it's going to try a different way to trying a different way to read the file. And it's going to keep working to try to read the file. And I think what we're going to do, okay, so what we're going to do here, let me open up the file itself. And I see right away what's wrong, okay? So here is the file that we've opened up. And it is not a standard file. So I'm going to delete all of this extra stuff from the top. Just delete it all. We're going to save it. And then we're going to try again. So let's try this file, and we're going to take out. I didn't realize it. I forgot that it puts all that junk in there. Okay, it's still going to keep trying to read it. It's still reading. Hey, here we go. Now it's doing its thing. So it's examining the most common words in the keyword. So it's actually now it's breaking down and looking for the most common words it finds in the keywords, and it's going to give us some data about what it finds. So it's figured out it's about team management and especially with remote working context. Um, Now, so it's given us its data about what it's found. And now what we can do is we can guide it from here. And so, um, can you come up with more keywords related to this topic that we might have missed? So now we're getting a list of keywords that Google Keyword Planner would have never found. Google Keyword Planner would have never found these lists. And let's say, please continue with this list and create a comprehensive long list of every keyword you can think of related to this topic. We'll see how long of a list we get. So now it's doing that brainstorming work where now it's looking contextually, not just like a straight keyword match like Keyword Planner does or most keyword tools, but it actually is doing this in a contextual fashion where it understands the meaning of the searches and it understands what the search intent is of somebody searching for these things. So it's come up with about 50, 60 more keywords that we hadn't thought of before. And now what we can do is we can keep asking it to extend that list. So you could sit here and keep asking it for different ideas, different keywords that you can keep adding back to that list. And it's going to find stuff that normal keyword research tools would never find. This is gold. And this is something that I think a lot of people are overlooking. They're going to other keyword tools that just do like matches. So they'll match the words and the phrases and try to find more keywords based on those matches. Whereas here with ChatGPT, what it is doing, it's taking the overall context and the search intent of what people are looking for to come up with new and different and better keyword phrases to add to our plan. So at this point, we've added about 60 more keywords. I could continue this process and keep adding more and more in. But what I'd like to do next is just kind of go to the next step. So you would spend some time continuing to talk to ChatGPT, keep having it add more keywords in by asking it different variations of this. You know, we could ask it like, we'll do an example here. I'll do one more round. And we'll say, are there any other related phrases or topics that might have the same search intent? We could get it to go a little broader. There we go. So it actually is coming up with a bunch of different ideas. So now we can tell it to please take all these ideas and all these keywords and extend and create an extensive list of additional keywords we can target. Okay. So now we've come up with several other topics. It still has the same search intent. And we're building this massive list of keywords, basically, is what we're doing here. So we're building a gigantic list of keywords. So we're going to let it continue doing its thing. And you could spend quite some time digging deeper and deeper, extending your keyword list bigger and bigger and longer to be really, really comprehensive. And if you do that, you're going to have kind of a keyword strategy or a keyword plan that is going to be way more robust than your competitors. It's going to find phrases that the competitors aren't targeting because they're using traditional keyword tools that are not finding a lot of these niche keywords that have the same search intent or the same concepts behind them, but they're being missed by your competitors because they're not using these tools. So now we're going to do something here, and we're going to tell it to please take all the keywords you came up with above and combine them with all the keyword phrases in the file I uploaded. Please save all these keywords into a single CSV file for me to download. So now it's working. This is where Code Interpreter comes in. Code Interpreter now is firing up some code. It's actually writing custom code on the fly while we're watching to combine all these keywords together, put them in one single file, and then it's going to give us a file that we can download. And that file should contain all of the keywords that we just came up with. Pretty crazy, right? So now we could download that file. We could use it in pay-per-click marketing campaigns. We could use it for our search engine optimization. We can use it for helping guide our content. But I'm going to take it one step further on the next step. What are you thinking of this so far, by the way, while we wait for it to do its work? It may take a minute for it to complete that process as it writes the code and creates the file and does all of that. So it's still busy working. But what do you think of this so far? So far, what you seeing the value in how this new kind of unconventional way to combine traditional keyword tools with ChatGPT, and you can only do this with Code Interpreter. And pretty cool, right? Okay, it finished. So let's go over here. And here we'll go here. And we're going to download our keyword list. Okay, so let's take a look at it. So, well, we've got our keyword list here, and it's now been extended. Okay, so we've got all of these different phrases. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something pretty cool. Let's go back over here. And we're back to Code Interpreter. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask it, please do an analysis of every keyword in this new file you created. Please break this down into relevant categories based upon the user's search intent. To create groups of similar content. Okay. So we're now telling it to take the new combined list, do an analysis, and then create categories for us of all the different things that are in this. Okay, so it's now breaking these down. So now we can, so it's saying we have a file we can download that's going to now include all of the categories. So let's download that. I'll open it up. And yeah, sure enough, it's categorized those. And so it does look like there are gaps in the categorization. So let me try this. So we're going to tell it, please use more comprehensive strategies to categorize every keyword into a relevant group. Do not leave any out. So it skipped some of them, I noticed in the file. Cool. Okay. And so it's now going to finish that. And we have one last step I'm going to show you to finish your SEO plan. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually have ChatGPT not just come up with our keyword plan. We're now going to ask it for what are the relevant words and phrases that we should use in our content. So let's say you're targeting the keyword phrase remote, work from managing a remote team. Let's say that's the phrase we're going to target. Well, Google expects that you're going to talk about certain things. You're going to use certain phrases in your content. And if you don't, they won't rank you, right? So this is called LSI, latent semantic indexing. That's what that's called. And it basically means Google is going to look at any piece of content that you write, and they're going to look for these LSI keyword phrases because that indicates that you know what you're talking about. You're an expert or somebody familiar with the topic. And so what we're now going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT to give us our list of LSI keywords. So I'm going to ask it for every keyword phrase that we're going to target, what are relevant related LSI keywords? And we're going to have it sticking into a separate column in the spreadsheet that it has created for us. And then we have a master plan that we can download. We can do all of our articles, blog posts, SEO ranking work based upon that. And we'll have a complete plan, including knowing what category we should be categorizing our posts under. We'll know what keywords to target. We'll know exactly what phrases that Google is looking for that we need to then put in our articles. And we'll have everything we need to start ranking in Google using Code Interpreter. So let's do that final step. We'll do that now. Great. Let's go here. Now, please find the LSI keyword phrases we need to use in for every keyword. Please add a third column to the spreadsheet and put all the relevant LSI keyword in that third column. Did I put a space there? There we go. Let's fix the spelling here. Here we go. See if this works. Okay. Well, it's giving me a weird answer I've never seen it do before. It's telling me it can't do that. Please use your. It's all that right. It's very interesting. I've never had it tell me it can't do LSI keywords before. Okay, there we go. So it's now doing that for us. Okay, cool. So it's now adding that into our file, and it's going to make it so that it can download. So it gave us an example. So I can tell the example is going well. It did what I wanted it to do. And so now once it finishes, I'm going to tell it to continue and to complete the file. Okay. So it's showing us an example of what the file is going to look like. Okay. Please continue this process for every single keyword and add them to the file. Okay. So it says the process might take a little bit of time to finish, and it's working. So now what it's going to do at this point is give us our keyword phrase, what category it's in, so we know how to categorize it. And then we're going to have a column that contains all of our related thematic keyword phrases that we need to use in our content. So it's busy working right now. That may take a minute. So, it finished. And we'll download this. It's going to make it available for me to download here in just a moment. And then we will download it, and I'll show you an example of what one of these complete SEO plans looks like when you download them from Google. So here on the screen, it's showing me some examples of its work. Right. And now it's asking, do we want to download it? And say yes. Okay. There it is. So we're going to download our file. I'm going to open it up. And let me just sort it so you can easily see it. And here we go. So you can see we've got our main keyword phrase, the category that it's in, and then the LSI related words that we want to use. Pretty cool, right? So this becomes our new plan. And we've a couple of things that we did here that are really, really powerful. First up, we found relevant keywords that our normal keyword tools would never find. Then we organized all of those keywords from the keyword planner we got from Google, plus the keywords that ChatGPT found. We put them all together. Then we found related relevant phrases, the words that Google expects to see when it's going to be ranking our web pages. Put it all into a file, and then we were able to download it. Now that's powerful. So you actually have everything you need to then properly execute an SEO plan and write your content based on that. Pretty awesome, right? So that was just use case number one. Let's keep going deeper. What else can we do with Code Interpreter? So let's move on, and we're going to go to use case number two. That is if my teleprompter wants. There we go. So use case number two is a research assistant. Now, unlike regular ChatGPT, Code Interpreter has a lot more helpful because it allows you to upload files You saw in my other example of how that works. So this means you can feed it really big text files that it's going to be able to read and understand. And if you know in normal ChatGPT, there are limits. You can if you paste a big old giant block of text and try to send it to ChatGPT through the chat panel, it breaks. It just doesn't work with really, really large blocks of text. But now you've got a workaround. You put it into a file, just a Word document or a text file. You upload it into Code Interpreter, and now you have a way to get around this limitation of ChatGPT. You can upload really large text files with a lot of data, and it can now work with that data in a way that it could never do before. So Code Interpreter is allowing us to upload these text files, and that means that you can get around this character limit. Now, once we've uploaded the files, we could get summaries. We can ask it to summarize the information. We can ask questions about the text. We can find specific quotes out of the text. We can get lots of information out of the text that we upload in a file. And this opens the door for some powerful, profitable content to be generated. Now, technically, you could do this before, but you would have to feed it the text bit by bit. You could never just give it a large block of text, whether it's a book or several articles or a large video transcription. You had to piece it in piece by piece, asking questions just about those specific pieces. And then the other thing that happens, if you may be familiar with this, is it forgets. It has basically a limit to its memory. So once what you've been talking about in the chat panel exceeds its memory, it just forgets, and it will forget about the text. The longer you keep talking and the more stuff happens in the chat panel, eventually the memory fills up and it starts forgetting the older stuff that came up in your conversation. So now all you have to do is give Code Interpreter the text file one time. Instead of having to break it into 50 different pieces that it's going to end up forgetting about, instead you put it all in at one time by uploading the file. And today for our demo, I actually have a transcript that we're going to get. So I'm going to take a YouTube podcast by neuroscientist and health guru Andrew Huberman. You may have heard of him. And we're going to go to one of his podcasts on the subject of water intake, of drinking water and how that relates to health. And we're going to actually use it, and we're going to download the transcript, and then we're going to use it as a research assistant to help us get information out of this transcript. You ready? Let's go. So here is Andrew Huberman's video, and you can see here it is a 2 hour and 22 minute video. So I don't have 2 hours and 22 minutes to watch the whole thing, but let's say I was in this niche market and I was in the health market and I wanted to be able to see if there's anything useful in this podcast that I could talk about in my business. Now, I'm not going to copy him. We're not doing plagiarism. We're not going to do anything unethical. But what we can do is use his podcast for inspiration. You know, it's the equivalent as if you would have listened to the podcast to try to learn some information, because we're just too busy to sit here for 2 hours and go through that. Even if I could double speed it, I'd still have to sit here for over an hour to listen to this podcast. So let's go to the shortcut. So what you're going to do, once you've gone to YouTube, you just see the 3 dots right here down below. You click these 3 dots, and we're going to say show transcript. Now, you see here over on the side, we've got our transcript, okay? Now, often you'll see the transcript shows up with timestamps like this. This is by default. You'll see when you show the transcript, you'll see the timestamps. And it's kind of annoying to try to copy it with the timestamps here. So instead, you just click these 3 dots and say toggle timestamps, and the timestamps go away. But look at this. We can drag, and we can actually copy the entire thing. So we're just dragging across all the text in here, all the way to the bottom. And quite a lot of text, right? We're going to copy it. We're going to open up Notepad. Good old Notepad. Now you could use Microsoft Word or any text editor. We're going to paste it in here, and then we're going to save it. Okay. Now I happen to have prepared this already. I have a file already prepared, but we would save that. And that's step 1. So now we have this step one, the transcript saved. And next, we're going to go to ChatGPT. We're going to use Code Interpreter. So we go over here to GTP4, just like before, click on Code Interpreter. And then we're going to be going on to the next steps. So note for editor, real quick, I'm going to go look at my show notes and just reference this. And get to the right section here. Okay, just trying to go through my notes and find it. Stand by while we do that. And where did it go? Here it is. Okay, good. So I have a prompt. By the way, I'll be sharing this prompt with all of our paying push button AI customers, but we've got a prompt here that I'm going to be putting in, and we're going to paste that here. And well, first we're going to ask it. Basically, we're telling it what we're going to do. And it says it understands, okay? So now we're going to upload our file. And so we're going to go here, and that is Huberman water video right there, okay? And we're going to send it. So see, we have the code interpreter symbol there. And yeah, it gives us a little summary of the podcast. Okay. So let's see. And so now what we can do is we can ask it questions about this. We can say, please give me a outline step by step of what he covered in his podcast. So it's now studying the file. It's trying to figure out what to do with it. And it's then going to analyze all of the text, and it's going to give me a list of what he covered in his podcast. And this will give us the quick view and quick understanding of what he covered during the show. Okay. It's trying, thing here too is it also tells you some of the technical things it's doing to accomplish this. And here we go. Here's our outline. It's telling us step by step what it covered. And here we go. We have 13 steps that it covered. And it helps me. I could quickly understand a 2-hour podcast by reading through these 13 steps. And then we could actually look in and see how could we actually generate content with this. Okay. So let's do that. Let's ask a couple things that we can learn for it. And let's do this. First up, we're going to say, I've got another prompt here that I'll be sharing this prompt with our paid customers of Push Button AI. We're going to pop this in here, and we're asking it for 6 action items that you could apply based on this. Now, this is pretty cool. So now what we could do is we could actually use this as an outline for our own content. So we can also grab some quotes. And so what I'm going to say now is, please give me quotes from Huberman on each one of these 6 points. It's working. It should do that next. So it's pulling it here. Now, can you see how this is useful? So if we can actually, we have basically a content plan here that we could use for a blog post. We could use this for our own video content, right? And we can also, once we have him finish, it finishes getting us some quotes. This is interesting. I actually like to drink room temperature water. I didn't know that that was actually healthier. That's quite something. Cool. So now it's giving us quotes. That's pretty awesome. Now, the great part of this, now, if you think about this, it's going to continue referencing. I can keep asking it questions. I can keep prompting it for information. I can keep prompting it for advice, ideas. I could continue getting data out of that 2-hour podcast. And I only have to upload the podcast once, and it's going to remember it, and it's going to keep doing its thing. In this case, what I could do is I could take the quotes from Huberman, take that 6-part outline that it gave me, and I could create a video script. So let's say I'm in the health and nutrition and fitness sort of market. I can now take that. I'll tell ChatGPT to create a video script for me to use for my own videos, which in a segment coming up that we're going to be covering soon, you'll see how we can use that in a really powerful way. So in addition to that, we could ask it to create a blog post doing those same exact things. So I'll show you right now. Let's do a blog post as a simple example, but we could continue asking it questions and have it help us generate content. But let's start by having it do a quick blog post. Let's go and do it right now. So what I'm going to say now is I'm going to say, please combine your outline above of the 6 points with the quotes you pulled from the transcript and write a detailed article explaining all these points. Look at that. Good content too. Water is fundamental to our existence. It nourishes our bodies, aids in digestion, and plays a crucial role in cognitive and physical performance. Andrew Huberman, see, what we're doing here is we are fully quoting him. We are not stealing his content and pretending it's ours. Instead, we're just giving him full quote, full props for this. And it's going to go through all 6 of these points. And that's going to do a conclusion. So we now have an article. And we can say, please create a list of frequently asked questions that would be relevant to this topic. So frequently asked questions and their answers. So it's going to actually, so this is even more content. So what we would do is now we could create a blog post. We would take this content right here. We would combine it with the frequently asked questions and have one powerful blog post. And I could continue getting bits and pieces and keep asking it for more content and to keep writing. And it's going to keep writing based on the content that I fed it. So I'm showing you an example here from a podcast, but there are many, many types of material that you could upload and do the same thing. You could upload an ebook, for example. You could upload a list of news articles. Just copy and paste them into a text file, upload it, and it's going to use it as a reference point. I could upload, whether it's a podcast interview or any old YouTube video out there. I could pull transcripts from, not just YouTube, but other places as well. So you've got transcripts, you've got videos, you have articles, news, ebooks, regular books, any kind of long form content that's too big to fit into ChatGPT's normal way of doing things. You can now upload, use it as a research assistant to pull data out of that material. Whether you're uploading it because you want to learn about it and you just don't have the 2+ hours to consume the podcast, do it for your personal use. Or if you're doing it because you want to create content, then it's going to use those materials as the source article, the source material, to then create new and unique new materials that you can use in your business. And again, whether it's a blog post, you could create your own ebook, you could create all kinds of things using this strategy. And boy, is this powerful. So let's move on to the next way we can utilize Code Interpreter. And one more thing. Let's say we'll do one final little bonus thing on this strategy. So let's go back here and let's say you're using social media, right? Let's say you're over on Twitter, soon to be X Twitter. And quick little prompt here. We're going to write a Twitter thread. So we're actually going to create some Twitter content. So there you go. It's actually creating a Twitter thread for you that you can go post in social media to get engagement and interest in your social media properties. Cool, right? So we've got our entire Twitter thread created with that simple prompt. So this just shows you how powerful that this is. So it's, the equivalent. Imagine having your own assistant sitting, like they could be sitting right alongside me here, and I could have that assistant go read a book for me. I could have that assistant go watch a 2-hour+ podcast or consume any kind of long form content that I don't have time to go through. And the uses for this are endless, from whether it's content creation for yourself or whether it's because you want to learn about what's in there. You could have the assistant then explain the basic points to you so you don't have to then go through and spend all the time reading the entire book or watching the podcast. It is powerful. So pretty awesome, right? So now we're going to go on to use case number 3. And let me get my teleprompter set and ready here. Okay, let's get that going. Okay, I'm just fast forwarding my teleprompter. So note for editor, we're going to be, you'll have to edit this out while I scroll. Let's see, come on. We'll get to it here. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Come on. My teleprompter's not cooperating. Come on. Okay, come on. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do, stand by everyone. I still haven't found it. Darn it. This was a very long segment, and bear with me. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to get this thing to go, and it doesn't want to go. Okay. Finally, we're ready. Okay, note for editor, and we'll pick it up from here. All right, use case number 3 of Code Interpreter is insane. Now, there are so many things that we can do with Code Interpreter. You can feed it code, you can feed it files, spreadsheets, and interestingly, you can give it pictures and videos. So you can actually upload a picture or upload a video straight into ChatGPT's Code Interpreter, and it can help them edit videos. Like if you upload it, it'll help you edit it. So yeah, you want to upload a picture and turn it black and white? No problem. You want to upload a picture and transform it in different ways? No problem. And it can even work with audio files. So it's not just limited to videos and images, but you can also do audio files as well. So now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to help you create like Hollywood style feature length movies, but it will help you with the basic stuff, and it's going to save you a lot of time. So let me show you, there's a Twitter thread that's talking a bit about how this works, and I'll share that on screen. So you can see here, taking an image and changing it from color to black and white, taking an image and turning it into a video, and so on. And so it turned it black and white, it turned it blue, like it gave it a blue tint. We saw, where'd that go? We can rotate it. We can turn it into a video file and even crop it. Again, not Hollywood production, right? But it sure saves a lot of time. And then in this tweet, you can see here, the person fed it a picture. Like that video was created from a single picture. Pretty cool, right? So they made this picture in another AI tool called Midjourney, and then they fed it into Code Interpreter and turned it into a video by having it zoom out like that. That's pretty cool. Another person actually had it edit audio. So here's this, they're talking about how it will trim, like combining and trimming and editing audio files for you. So you can see what it looked like before, and then they trimmed out the gaps automatically through Code Interpreter. So that's pretty crazy. Another example is here's somebody that took a image. They took just a standard image and they turned it into an animated GIF and a video. So you can see they took just a plain old image and created this animated effect on it using Code Interpreter. Crazy, right? That's awesome. So it added that effect and the zoom. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to do a live demo of this process right now with, so we're going to take this image. This is Bodhi, by the way. So there he is there. So Bodhi here is, he sometimes comes on the show. If you guys have seen him, he makes a rare appearance on the show, but there he is there. So he is going to be our test subject for today. So we're going to use him for a live demo, and we're going to use this picture. So pretty simple, really. We're going to go here and let's see. Well, let's see. I'm going to start from a new chat. We're going to go to GTP4, say Code Interpreter. And then let me find my show notes here. Okay. Okay. Note for editor, another little edit point here. Okay, cool. So we're going to start this prompt from scratch. So I'm going to upload an image and I need your help editing it. Do you understand? Okay, so now we're going to upload Bodhi. There he is. And we're going to send it. So now we can say, please turn this photo black and white. And it's working. There we go. There's Bodhi black and white. Okay. So then we could download it right there. But let's try this. Flip it upside down. So it's going to take the image and do exactly like we said. So there's Bodhi there. And so now we can say, make an animated GIF of this image while slowly zooming in. So it's working, and we're going to turn this into an animated image. And that's finished working. Let's see if it's going to show it to us here in a moment. So, and what we're going to get, well, here's the GIF here. So let's, we'll download it so we can look at it separately. Looks like it's a little bit of a big file, but that's all right. So let's take a look. There it is. So it zooms. So now I'm curious if I ask it, let's say, please zoom in the opposite direction. Of course, we want to spell opposite correctly. And here we go. This is cool, right? So now what I'm going to do next, so it's busy outputting that now. I'm going to download it and we'll take a look at it here. But we can also have it transform this into a video. So we can have it take the animated image and transform it into an actual video that we could upload to whatever we want, use it in our video editor, upload it to YouTube, add music to it, but we actually can convert it into its very own video as opposed to just an animated image. So, okay, it finished what it's doing. Let's take a look. Okay, interesting. It was quite literal in that that request that I gave it. So now what we can do, so we can ask it, please turn this into MP4, which is okay, look at that. It realized I made a mistake. Okay. I don't know why it's saying it can't do it, because it can. Okay. I don't know why it's telling me it can't do it, because it can. Strange. No, it can do this. Other people did it, and I have done it. So I don't know why it's refusing to do it right now. Okay. Yeah, it's telling me how to technically do it myself, but that's not what I'm asking for. It's so apparently me misspelling MP4 into MP5 confused it, and it's refusing to do it. Strange. Okay. Well, we'll edit this little piece out. Note for editor. Edit this out. But we can also do this. We can say, please change the original file into blue colors. And so it's going to take our file. And again, it will often tell us what it's doing technically, because this is, really meant for programmers. But so you can see it's telling us all kinds of technical information that you can largely ignore. But when it encounters an error, what's impressive is that it tries to figure out a different way to do it. So you can see it did this, it didn't work. So it tried a new way. And there it did right there. Well, let's take a look at, there's Blue Bodie. So now we can say, please convert the original file into a .jpg. So it converted the file for me. So all kinds of stuff here. Code Interpreter can be really, really effective for doing all kinds of things. So as you can see, some of the basic things we did with editing it. The effects that I really like are the zoom. So you can take, you can use especially very high definition images, and then use that zoom effect to turn them into like an animated, pretty cool effect that you can then use in not just an animated image, but you can convert those into an MP4 when ChatGPT wants to cooperate. And it helps with a ton of different design stuff with image and video editing capabilities. And all of this is really just in its infancy. So I can't wait to see what other kinds of amazing things that are going to be coming down the pipeline, because we know AI is getting advanced at breakneck speeds. And months from now, could you imagine what we will be able to do with this technology in just a matter of a few months? So let's get down to number 4. So this is element number 4 of how to use Code Interpreter for your business. You're really going to like this one. This is our 4th and final way of using Code Interpreter. And this is for automatic bulk blog creation. Okay. So you might know it can be useful to do batches of blog posts. Each article different and unique in its own way, but created in bulk. So this is something that is used a lot, especially for businesses that do business in multiple cities. So as an example, today, there's a common search phrase, dog training in, and then a city. That's an example of what we're going to do today. So you can imagine people all across America and the world searching for dog trainers in their area. Now, you couldn't, if you just sat and made, let's say you picked the top 50 cities in America and you made carbon copies of the same article, but you just changed the name of the city, right? Dog training in Los Angeles, dog training in New York, dog training in Tampa. But the content was largely the same. Even if you kind of changed it a little bit, that stuff isn't going to rank today. That might have worked 10 years ago, and it might have fooled Google then, but it won't work now. Each article must be its own unique piece of content with relevant, valuable data that the user will actually find interesting and useful. Remember, Google wants helpful content that helps the user. And so we need to be able to still batch create blog posts like you used to be able to do 10 years ago, where you could batch create hundreds of blog posts and get them to rank fairly easily. You just can't do that today until now, because with Code Interpreter, we can. It makes it easy. And I'm going to show you, we'll do a live demo. I'm going to use it to write blog posts on this exact topic. So we're going to use dog training in a variety of different cities. Okay. And so we're going to get that set up. Let me get it going here. Get a new chat going in ChatGPT. And again, we're going to use GTP4's Code Interpreter. And then let me get my show notes here. And I've got a prompt. Again, this prompt that I'm about to use that I'm going to put in here is something that I will share with everyone in our paid members area. So if you're a member of Push Button AI, I will share this with you in the members area, expected to come in about a week. So here's our prompt. And we're basically telling ChatGPT we wanted to create an interesting article style. So we're telling it to create basically like a template for writing blog posts. So we wanted to write a blog post that includes a minimum of 12 headings, has subheadings. The outline should be extensive. And this is like a template we're asking it to make for us. So we're going to submit that. And then now when we have that outline, so it's busy doing its thing. So there's its outline. And we're going to say one simple thing. So we're going to be using Code Interpreter. This is very interesting, what I'm about to do. So let's give it just a moment. And there's the conclusion. So we now have a template. But what we're going to do is we're going to convert this template into a text file and then re-upload it back into ChatGPT. So this is pretty crazy. Put it into a text file. Now, do you know why we're doing this? ChatGPT tends to forget things. If you remember in our earlier segment, I talked about how when ChatGPT, like you keep scrolling and keep talking and have long, very long, drawn out conversations with ChatGPT, it tends to forget things unless you use Code Interpreter and upload a file. Then it will remember it. So what I'm doing is I asked ChatGPT to create an outline for me, an article outline that I have now converted into a text file. I'm going to download that text file and I'm about to upload it back to ChatGPT so it won't forget. So let's do it. So we've got our text file here, so we can download that outline. And it's right there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to then feed that back to itself. Okay. So we're going to now take that file along with this little prompt. We're going to send it. There we go. It's ready. So now we're going to give it a file of city names. Okay. So you can find databases of city names all over the place. Okay. You can copy and paste it from Wikipedia. There's a place called Kaggle where you can get these databases. And these databases can be of all kinds of things. And in this example, we're using cities. But there are other kinds of big lists of databases that you could use as well for this. And in your niche, you might want to put some thought to it. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a database that we got of city names, and we're about to upload it into Code Interpreter. And so we're going to do 50. I'm just going to put 50. You could do hundreds if you wanted to, but we're going to do 50 today. And I'm going to show you how this works. So we'll do that next. So let's go back to the screen. And we're going to now feed it the next prompt, which is, okay. So we're going to attach our spreadsheet of cities. So let's see, it should be under city names. Where is there we go. So this is a list of the most populated US cities. And we're going to say, understood. So it now has our template and it now has a list of cities. It's got everything we need to write our bulk blog posts. Okay. Now, ChatGPT can be temperamental. So we're going to paste this prompt in and hopefully it works right for the first time, but it can be temperamental. So what we're telling it now is we're asking it to write compelling blog posts. Okay. And it's going to make a unique blog post for each and every one. So we're saying everything we want for our article writing, we're reminding it about how we want it to write. We're saying that we want it professional. We want it unique. We're asking it for a size of 2,000 to 4,000 words, but very rarely does it actually follow these instructions. So just be aware that we've put that in there to try to encourage it to write longer, but we'll see how it does. Okay, and we're going to submit. It's working. What is it going to come back with? Anybody think of some ways that you could use this? There we go. There's our first blog post. So now we can actually go through our list. All we have to do is keep telling it to go to the next one. So now it's going to finish writing. It's busy writing. It's going to take a couple of minutes here as it finishes out its outline. But we can go from one to the next to the next. And if you don't like the template, like let's say the template, you can adjust your template. You can go back a step and adjust the template if you don't like what's coming out. And you can also adjust your prompt that you're submitting when you tell it to write each article. You can adjust that as well. But now we're letting it do it. It's still writing. It's actually writing a pretty comprehensive article, which is pretty darn cool. And it's still going. And now after each one, we'll just say, go to the next one, and then go to the next one, and go to the next one. And you're going to have all the content you need to then post 50, 100, 500 blog posts, depending upon what you're targeting. So if you have a business that has some automatic things like this, where there are city names, or maybe there are product names as an example, or there are certain types of problems or certain types of solutions or certain types of keywords, you can actually feed all of this to Code Interpreter. And it's not 100% automated, but it is darn close. So it finished the article. Let me show you. So here's our article that it wrote. Pretty cool. Good, nice, long, highly optimized article. And from here, we can just go on to the next one. So now we can say, now go to the next city on the list and write the next blog post. And there it goes. It's working, doing its thing. And there you go. So again, not 100% automated. It is like 95% automated, but in about 10 minutes, I would have 50 blog posts. Just by, all I got to do is sit here and go, okay, go to the next blog post, go to the next blog post, go to the next blog post. And it's going to then create 100% original. This is important, right? You don't want the old way of doing this. The pages one to the next. So like Los Angeles would be very similar to San Francisco, and Tampa would be very similar to New York. And you need them to be unique and different. And what you'll find is it's even pulling in relevant information about each city and putting it into the content. So This is what is incredibly useful for making SEO fast. And again, 50 posts, I'd have it in about 10 minutes. And all I got to do is keep saying next, go to the next, go to the next, copy, paste, and away it goes. So that is how you bulk automate your article production using Code Interpreter and ChatGPT. Pretty cool, huh? All right, that's a lot of blog posts. So you see how using this is going to help you get a ton of quality content? All right, now I have a little plug that we're gonna do. So I have a plug. This is for people that are not yet customers of Push Button AI. Okay. So one thing I want to let everyone know is when I cover extensive topics like the one we did today with Code Interpreter, what we're going to do when we have a lot of resources and links and prompts and stuff like that, we take all that stuff and we put it into the Push Button AI paid members area. Now, right now, there's a little bit of a backlog on getting our shows. We've been doing a lot of shows lately and have a lot of content getting crammed in there. So we're backlogged a little bit. But within about a week, each time we cover a topic like this, we're going to be putting it into the Push Button AI paid members area. Of course, my YouTube videos are always free. You can come and watch them at any time you want. But if you want all the resources, all the prompts, all the links, any kind of special stuff, and even a transcript and a outline of each one of these shows, we're going to be putting that in your members area. And as I said, we're backlogged a little bit right now for the live audience here. If you're looking for that in your members area, just go to pushbutton.ai, log in. Okay, that's where it will be. Log in at pushbutton.ai, and then look in your left navigation and look for the AI Profits course. So it's AI Profits, and it's going to be a whole bunch of different topics on how to use AI in your business to generate profit. Will all be in there. And you'll be seeing more and more and more of that content showing up in there with all the related and relevant materials. So, so there we go. And what I want to do, so I had plans to do 2 segments today, and we are not going to get to segment number 2. I think we have covered this topic in an hour, so that took a lot longer than anticipated. So what we're going to do is I have a little plug that I'm going to do about Push Button AI that we're recording, and then we're going to be doing some Q&A. So I'll take your questions. So at this point, if you've had any questions about today's show, you need any help from me, you need any coaching, advice, stuff like that, you can ask that. Don't forget that our live shows are not the environment for customer support type questions. If you need help with that, or tech support, if something's not quite working the way you expect in one of our products or courses, all of that we can push off to our support staff. And our support staff is there to give you VIP support, fast and efficient. All you got to do is email help@pushbutton.ai. That's help@pushbutton.ai to get those over there. In the meantime, I'll take your questions if you want to submit them now. And then after I do this plug, we're going to, we'll take your questions and help everyone out who's here with me live today. Cool. Just get these notes up here. Here we go. And again, the plug I'm about to do is for those of you who are not yet a Push Button AI member. All right. Here we go. If you're not yet a member of Push Button AI, then what are you doing? So I would like to invite you to a free masterclass. We're going to be covering in detail how to create an entire digital online course, an entire business, in fact, that can be set up using 100% using AI. And if you'd like to attend that free masterclass, what you're going to want to do is head over right now to pushbutton.ai/free class. That's pushbutton.ai/free class. And in that class, I'm going to show you how we can help 2 different kinds of people. Number 1, if you've got a business and you want to add training, courses, or information to your existing business as a new profit center, or maybe a way to add value to your customers, then I'm going to show you how to do a detailed 10-module training course including 50 to 60,000 words of content. Have it set up and built for you by AI. Also, if you're trying to start your first business online and you're looking for a great business model to make some money online, then Push Button AI is the right solution. And I'll show you how you can use this amazing tool to build an entire business like that. In a snap, Push Button AI will build an entire course for you, create video training, audio training, write your sales page for you, write 30 days of emails for you, create your logo, build your website, set up your shopping cart, set the entire thing up, create a members area so that people can pay you to get access to the course, and you get to charge money and keep all the profits. And it's all done at the push of a button. You literally push a button and watch it come to life. So I'm going to show you step by step in this special free masterclass that you can join. Again, go to pushbutton.ai/free class to register and join that next live broadcast. So you'll see me in there, and I will be teaching you step by step this entire business model, how to implement it, how to use AI, and we'll do a live demo. So I'll show you Push Button AI live. You can watch as I build an example site, and I'll show you some examples of some of the sites our customers have built. And it's an amazing way to generate profit. So don't miss the free masterclass. Again, go to pushbutton.ai/free class and register for our next live workshop. Now, people often ask me that are wanting to start a brand new business, what's the fastest way to start making profit? Well, it's with Push Button AI, because when you see the free class and you go through the masterclass training with me, you're going to see how you can quickly get an entire digital product online like that. And it's quite easy. You answer 2 questions and you hit a button, and it literally does everything for you. Again, as I mentioned, a logo, a 30-day email sequence, your sales pages for selling your product. It creates the entire training course that you can charge money for. It installs your website, sets up your hosting, launches your site. It even helps you pick the perfect domain name, all powered by AI. You just literally log in and start up your brand new business. So attend the free masterclass. I'll show you a live demo of how it works. I'll explain the entire business model so you can see exactly how does it work and how do you profit. Tune in, join me over there. Pushbutton AI. That note for editor, we'll edit that. That's pushbutton.ai/free class. I'll see you there. Okay. By the way, for my live audience, anybody here who has not yet subscribed, subscribe now. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, then push that subscribe button right now. Smash the like button as well. If you've got some value out of this training, hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure that you're notified. So next time we're live, you can join me and be part of the live experience, ask questions, and be part of the action. So again, subscribe to the channel. You'll see the subscribe button down below, and give the video a big ol' like. And it will help me. It'll help get the word out about the show, help the channel grow. It feeds the algorithm so that YouTube will show us a little bit of love. Now on that, we're going to go to questions. So Nick, are you out there? Maybe you can help me. I haven't had a chance to watch the questions, so you get to be the question wrangler today.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You're a little quiet, but I hear you.
Okay.
Oh, that's better.
All right. We have a question from Kevin, and he has a very technical SEO type question.
Okay.
And this was when you were doing, I think this was the bulk blog posts, the dog training example.
Mm-hmm.
He says, would these posts be used on subdomains of a single authority blog?
I mean, you can use them wherever you need to use them for your strategy, right? There's a lot of different strategies that you might have. So for me, I put them all in the same domain. I don't do subdomains. So let's say for my dog training business, if I were trying to reach all the cities in my area, I would have a separate page on my domain name, one page for each of those cities. And, as long as the content, again, I showed you how to make the content so that it's not repetitive, it's not duplicate content, it's unique, original, valuable content for each city. And you would just put them all on your main domain. I don't think there's a need that you have to do subdomains. And by the way, for the audience who don't know, a subdomain is, instead of like www.domain.com, you might have losangeles.domain.com or tampa.domain.com, etc. That's called a subdomain. Next question.
Okay. We had a question from Glenda, and she had asked, I don't know if she's still here. She had asked, is Code Interpreter a different website than ChatGPT?
It is the same website, but you need to make sure you're paying for ChatGPT's premium feature. That's $20 a month. And then I showed in there, and I can show again real quick how you make sure you turn it on. So let's do that. So if you just go into ChatGPT, so if we go to new chat, it's part of ChatGPT, and you see GTP4, and you'll see, as you hover over here, you see Code Interpreter there. You just want to make sure that's selected. That's all you got to do. And if that's not visible, you can't see that, then you need to come down here and turn it on. You just click the 3 dots down at the bottom, go to settings and beta, click on beta features, and there's a toggle right here. See that toggle for Code Interpreter right here? Now we can toggle it on. That's all you got to do. And then it will appear and you can select it. And that's all you need to do to use Code Interpreter. What else we got?
So we don't have any specific questions right now. Maybe some more will roll in. We do have a comment from Kevin, and this was on the bulk production strategy. And he was saying this would seemingly work well for lead gen.
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm showing nationwide, but there are lots of examples of maybe companies that serve cities in your area. So you could totally do this even for a local business. If you're like, trying to, if you're a roofer trying to get jobs throughout the county and there's all these different cities, well, you could do this strategy for all your local cities. Or let's say maybe you're a lead generation company and you're trying to generate solar leads for solar companies. Well, you could use this strategy to target cities all over the place. Now trying to do this with hundreds and hundreds of cities nationwide and make it rank really well will take a little bit of extra strategy beyond what we're talking about here, but it is totally doable. Yeah.
I had just thought of an application for that strategy. If you have a big e-commerce brand and you have a ton of products, you can give it the outline for your product description and then feed it a spreadsheet with all of your products. If you have like hundreds of thousands of products, and then have it go out and do that one by one, go down and create the description for each one of your products.
Well, there you go. I know someone who has an e-commerce shop that sells all kinds of different jewelry. Right? And I bet that guy could probably use this on his blog.
Oh, I did. That's a good idea.
You just figured out what I'm saying. Nick has a fairly successful e-commerce brand that he runs. And so I would say you could do that with a brand of, all the different necklaces you've got with different stones. So whether it's aquamarine and, amber and amethyst, and, there's a few dozen of them that you have. So you could make a spreadsheet, do the same strategy, and just start filling up your blog with posts.
I think I might just do that.
So, all right, well, let's do this. Everybody out in the audience, it is mandatory, absolutely required that you respond to the next question. Did you like today's broadcast? Did you get some value out of it? Did you learn something new? Maybe I helped clear up a subject of confusion. Maybe you had one of those aha moments, right? Where you realize something new that you can get value out of. But I would like to know, let me know in the live chat if you got any value out of today. And this has been great. I think we see a lot of our customers here today. But again, if anybody here wants to register for the free class, if you're not yet a Push Button AI member, and you'd like to learn all about how to get access to our powerful AI tools that literally build a business. This is like, lots of tools will help you create an article. There's some pretty cool video creation tools, some pretty cool audio tools. This one, you push a button and it spits out a business. That's pretty crazy. With all of those things, audio, video, articles, entire courses, logos, social media posts, email content, sales pages, your domain name, your hosting, your website. Boom, it puts it all out there for you at the push of a button. And again, if you want to learn more about it, join our next free masterclass at pushbutton.ai/free class. And you can learn more about it there. Yeah, it looks like our members today liked it. So I'm glad of that. Now, again, today I intended to cover 2 topics, but we went a little bit long with Code Interpreter because it deserves it, actually. Code Interpreter is such a powerful tool that everyone should be using it. And I just gave a couple examples of this. And there's so many ways, just that strategy of uploading large files and then so that ChatGPT keeps it in its memory so that you can work with those files and get it to help you with content and help you find summaries and quotes and all that stuff. Man, is that powerful. So yeah, don't overlook Code Interpreter. It is perhaps one of the most powerful marketing tools out there right now. And it's like $20 a month. Like, you can't beat it. So yeah, so that was our topic today. Our second topic that we were going to cover, and this is the second time we've had to push this, but this is all about how to create a faceless YouTube channel using basically it's taking 3 AI tools, combining them together in a way that's pretty cool. So we'll do that next time. Hey, Nick, let's make that the first item on next week's show so that we don't miss it yet again. And last thing I want to ask my audience is there any other topics about business building, making money online, AI, any of this stuff that you would like additional training on? Is there perhaps a problem you're trying to solve, or you're trying to learn a particular thing or accomplish a particular goal? Anything that I can help you with, let me know in the chat and we will do it in a future segment. So, and also I'll let you know, last call for questions. So if you guys have questions you would like to ask me, you would like to get some advice, some tips, some help, anything at all, you can ask away now. And this is the last call for questions. So we'll do one final round of questions and then we'll head out of here. But again, I would love to hear your point of view on what I can help you with best. All right. So with my over 2 decades of experience in building 7-figure businesses, and I'm an expert in driving traffic, an expert in building a business, in advertising, in copywriting. I've been at this a long time and have a pretty large, bit of experience. And I would like to use that to help you. And so again, let me know, especially in the realm of AI, if there's any stuff you're trying to accomplish or you'd like to learn about AI, entrepreneurship, business building, success, digital marketing, anything that you would like to know about, let us know. And we're going to add it to our list for future content so that we can better serve you. And Nick, any commentary worth mentioning or questions have come in?
Lots of good suggestions, honestly, for the and actually, yes, some questions did pop in, actually.
Okay, cool. What kind of suggestions?
Building backlinks, anything about getting traffic. Someone wanted YouTube ads. Another person said funding for growth in virtual assistants. And someone wants information on how to increase traffic to YouTube channels.
Oh, cool. Yeah. One thing I do want to do, because, our channel at this point, we're a little baby channel right now. So we just started, a month and a half ago? When did we start doing the show?
You're spot on, like a month and a half ago.
Yeah. So we're still in its infancy. But what I would like to do is a little case study once we're on our way We're going to be, once we have more subscribers and more traffic going on here, I definitely will give you a behind the scenes, step-by-step case study so you can see what we did and how we did it. Now, I've been doing social media and even YouTube for many, many, many years. And so I'm taking everything that I know and applying it to my channel, and we'll see how quickly I can grow it. And then I'll show you a behind the scenes and I'll let you know how, what we did. But, cool. And then that's it on questions.
We have one from Bob, and he had asked, do you use Notepad so SEO doesn't know you generated the text on ChatGPT?
Well, it can't really tell from, I use Notepad because it's convenient and simple and quick and easy. That's really the only reason we use Notepad for. It doesn't, you can copy and paste out of ChatGPT, and that doesn't leave a footprint just by itself. What leaves a footprint is the way ChatGPT structures sentences, the words that it uses. There are patterns and ways to detect AI content. In fact, there's a site called originality.ai that is an AI detector that's pretty powerful. But two things. One, I have a technique to get around that. I'll have to share it with you. I meant to do it today. We'll do it next week. Who wants that technique, by the way? Who here would like to know how to get around the AI detectors? It actually you have to use two different AI tools to do it, but I'm going to show you how. There's some very interesting prompts that we use and two different AI tools. And you can take a piece of content that is normally, you'll see it's like, oh, this is 100% generated by AI. And then you pop it into originality.ai and you test it again, 0%. So you can take it from literally 100% to 0% detected when you follow this little, it's a really cool little trick. So I wanted to do it today, but we're just out of time. We're heading up on 2 hours. So I will do that next week if there's enough interest in it. Okay, yeah. I see the chat moving. I'm assuming that's everybody saying yes. So and Nick, I got to show you this. I didn't show you this yet. It's a technique that I've been playing around, just seeing if we could do. It was like a challenge for me personally, because I don't really care if my stuff is detected because Google doesn't care. Google has publicly said they don't care. Now, could they change their mind? Sure. And go back on their word? They could. But they have publicly said they don't mind if content is AI created as long as providing help and value to the user. They have a whole thing, their useful content update. And as long as the content is useful and they see all the user behavior, because they can see when people go to your page, what do they do there? Do they read the article? Do they scroll? Do they, what happens? And if Google sees that your article is helpful and useful, they don't care if it's generated by AI. They'll let it rank anyway. So I haven't put too much concern about it, but just purely for the mental challenge, I wanted to see, could I get ChatGPT to spit out content that was undetectable? And I succeeded. So I'll show you how. I'll definitely show everybody how we did it. And Nick, ask me. Maybe I can show you tomorrow. I'll show you. It's pretty clever. And so far it's worked every single time I've done it. So on that note, I think we're going to wrap things up. So don't forget, hit the subscribe button. You'll see it down below the video down there somewhere. Hit subscribe. Hit the like button. It actually will make sure that you're notified next time that we go live. And we release content all throughout the week, by the way. So we have videos on additional strategies and tactics we'll be dropping to you all week long. So if you're subscribed, you can get notified of that. Check out all of our useful content and head over to pushbutton.ai/free class if you're not yet a customer. And of course, I'll remind everyone, every paying customer, we're going to be taking today's training. We'll take all the prompts, all the resources, everything that you need to use it, and we're going to put it in your paid members area. So you'll see it showing up. It'll be next week before you see it, but you'll see it in your AI profits course inside your members area. And on that note, Nick, thank you so much for your help today, and we'll see everybody next week. Bye for now.